Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be spinning for my July TBR, and I love the month of July. I really just associate it with reading fun, light, happy romances by the pool, if we're being so real right now. As you all know, I have been on a journey getting through my physical TBR. That has been my #1 focus lately, and I don't want to spoil what books I read in June, but just know we're getting very, very close to the end. And so the two books that I have from my physical TBR in the TBR wheel today are Dance of Thieves and The Roughest Draft. Everything else is like a new release, or it's on Libby, or it's on Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, without saying too much, we are getting very, very close to the end of our goal. So I think that's it. We're just gonna jump into the TBR wheel, and I'm so excited. So you guys should now be able to see the TBR wheel. And as I'm looking at it right now, I just realized that there are a few rereads in here. Let me actually grab them on my shelf real quick. My reread options for the month are A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab and Beach Read by Emily Henry. So technically we have 4 books for my physical TBR ready to go. I think I'm just gonna spin. This is genuinely the lightest and happiest TBR wheel that we have had in months. I feel like I always have a pretty solid mix of heavy and light reads, but this one looks pretty good. Every Summer After. Okay, this is a book, again, I don't own it. That's probably going to be a bit of a theme in this video, but Every Summer After is a book that my sister is obsessed with, and she has been begging me to read this book for years. I'm a huge Love in Other Words fan. It's one of my favorite books, and everyone, including her, says that those two books are incredibly similar to each other. I believe there is a childhood friends to lovers trope in there. I think it's then and now timelines, all of my favorite things actually. And I hadn't picked this book up yet because I didn't want something that was exactly like Love in Other Words. I kind of wanted it to live in its own little world. But now, years later, I am curious. I want to know if I would like this book. And again, I would love to go up to my sister and tell her that I read one of her favorite books. Like, to me, that's just one of the absolute best feelings in the whole world. So if you guys have read this book, let me know in the comment section down below. I also know that the companion novel for Every Summer After just came out, and I've heard nothing but amazing reviews for it. So a lot of good reasons to be excited to pick up this book. All right, we're spinning for book number 2. We're already filling up my summer cup, and I'm just so happy about it. Oh my gosh, let's go. Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. You guys know, if you watched last month's video, this book did get chosen for June, but I did not get to it, again, for 2 key reasons. The first one being what I already told you, which is I am strongly prioritizing my physical TBR right now. So if I don't own it, I probably didn't pick it up. That was the first issue. The second problem is one of the other books that I was reading was Kingdom of Ash. And so there was no way that I was going to get to my entire June TBR. And this book is like the other one that's huge. I think the last Magnolia Parks book is like 600 pages. It's very long. So that plus Kingdom of Ash, it wasn't happening. So hopefully, fingers crossed, July is the month of Magnolia Parks. I have absolutely loved this series. This is, again, the 5th book in this series. It's unfinished, so we do not have any information on when the rest of the books are going to come out, but it's all about like toxic drama, toxic relationships, very wealthy young people in their 20s. And it's just full of drama, and I really like that. And particularly, I really like that in the summertime. I started Magnolia Parks, that whole series, in the summertime last year, I want to say. I feel like I started it around when I moved, which would have been in the summer. So we're coming up on 1 year of Magnolia Parks, which is pretty good. It takes me a long time to finish series normally. So if I could get to the end of this summer and be fully caught up on Magnolia Parks releases, I would be so happy, so happy. That's 2 books down, 4 books to go. Did I say that I'm going on vacation already? I don't know if I did, but I'm going on vacation at the end of July, or no, early July. And The Paradise Problem, we're winning. We're winning today. We're winning. The Paradise Problem is a book that would be perfect to go on vacation. And so it's probably pretty obvious from the actual books that are in the wheel, but I tried to curate my options to be perfect books to read by the pool, to read on the plane, to read on my trip, just something that's going to feel really good in the sun, feel really good outside. And obviously I've never read most of these books before, so I don't know, but there are a few books in here that I felt like would be really, really good for that. And conveniently enough, The Paradise Problem is one of them. This is a book that has come out in the last few months that I can't stop thinking about, even though I haven't read it. It's just every time I go to the bookstore and I see it, there's something calling me towards it. Do I know anything about it really besides the fact that people seem to really enjoy it? No. All that I do know is I saw UCLA on the back of the book cover, and that's where I went to school. So I'm like, honestly, that's all it really needed, is to be summary, to be by Christina Lauren, and then the cherry on top was the fact that my alma mater was in the book synopsis. So I desperately want to pick up this book. Again, I've just been putting it off and not letting myself buy it at the bookstore because of my whole physical TBR situation. All right, so that's 3 books in, and so far we're having the opposite problem to last month, which is none of my physical TBR is getting chosen, which now it kind of is getting chosen. Not quite my physical TBR since I have read this already, but I do really want to do a reread of this book. And that book is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. If you guys watched, not my most recent video, but the video before that, I talked about all of the books that I had ever reread, which isn't very many. And honestly, I had so much fun making that video. I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. But in that, I talked about the books I'd reread, but also the books that were on my radar to be reread. And this is one of the books that I want to reread again. So it would be my 3rd time reading this book, but I just love the characters in here. I love the world. I love everything about it. And I haven't reread anything beyond the first book. So I really want to go and do the whole entire series. And so this is a book that I actually picked it up recently. I was on vacation and I saw this at a used bookstore, and this is not the editions that they make anymore. And so when I saw that they had this book in paperback in great condition, I was like, oh my gosh, I literally have to buy this. Plus, I want to do a reread anyway. And so now I'm going to be like on a subtle little hunt for the rest of the series at used bookstores in this specific edition. So I definitely want to collect the other 2. So I have the full trilogy. But yeah, this is an adult fantasy series. It's so magical. It's so good. I'm not going to dwell on it because I did just talk about it in a video recently. I'm very excited about this. Okay, I'm manifesting my 2 books right now that I haven't read yet. I'm sending those vibes to the TBR wheel, and I should open my eyes, but I'm afraid. I'm gonna do it. Oh, this is good and bad. Oh my gosh. All right, so book number 5 that has been chosen from the TBR wheel is none other than Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is TJR's most recent release, and I am absolutely dying to pick this up. And guys, the craziest thing happened to me last week during release week of Atmosphere. I had put this book on hold along with Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Put this book on hold ages ago. The second I knew that it was coming out, I went to my library and I put it on hold. However, I'm not usually the first to know things, so often there's a lot of people in line ahead of me on this holds list, okay? And I put a hold on both the physical and the audiobook, all right? I was firing on all cylinders at this point. And literally the week that this book came out, I got a notification from my library saying that this book was ready to check out. I think it was the ebook, not the audio. Pretty sure it was the ebook. And I couldn't check it out because I had to respect my June TBR. And again, the whole physical TBR thing that I've been saying over and over and over again in this video, I'm starting to bother myself. And so I had to deliver it later. And so I do have this available to me in the foreseeable future because I have delayed the hold, so it will come back again. It's just devastating that normally my normal personality would be drop everything. My favorite author, one of them, has just come out with a book. I need to read it right here, right now. Like, forget the book I'm in the middle of. I'm going to pick up Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, you know? Not in this stage of life, not on my journey that I am on to conquer my bookshelf. And so, yeah, all that to say, I don't actually need to go out and buy this, which is exciting because I can read it from my library. And that just feels so extra special when it's around release time, you know? There's something so nice about that. But yeah, okay, that's Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. We're gonna spin for one more. Again, guys, for reference, my physical TBR right now includes The Roughest Draft and Dance of Thieves. And for full transparency, I'm probably gonna have to read both of these books in July, regardless of if the wheel picks it, because of my personal goals and inability to not stick to my goals. One of those would be great. Right? You know, you and me, guys, we're on the same page. The wheel, not always on the same page as me. Oh, we were so close. We were so close. It's okay. Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Apparently, I'm full of stories because I have another one for you guys now relating to Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. So there are a few authors in my rotation that I am personally really obsessed with and whose books I genuinely look forward to whenever they're coming out. Those authors are Emily Henry, Abby Jimenez, Taylor Jenkins Reid, and Ashley Poston. Those are kind of my top 4 favorites. Like, over time, they kind of just always have books that I really, really enjoy. Not every single one is like my absolute favorite book, but just, you know, there's some consistency and comfort knowing that I really like these authors. And naturally, Emily Henry and Abby Jimenez, their books come out at like the same time, all right? And then Ashley Poston and Taylor Jenkins Reid, their books are coming out at the same time. And so I went to Barnes with one of my friends the other day, and we're walking around, you know, just casual. I'm minding my own business. And what do I see on the shelf besides Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston? And keep in mind, this is days before the actual release date. I think it's supposed to come out on the 18th, and I was at Barnes on the 16th. I could have that wrong, but I know that it was out 2 days early. And so I'm like freaking out with my friend who probably thinks I'm acting ridiculous. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't realize this come out, thinking that I had messed it up. So I Googled it, and no, I had not messed it up at all. Barnes had put this book out early, and I don't know what the rules are, all right? I am unclear on the back end of these things, but I was freaking out. I was so excited. But again, you already know what I'm going to say. I was not allowed to buy it. And at this point, I think I need a bit of a round of applause for my self-control, because I was in the presence of a book from my favorite author for 2 days before it actually came out. I didn't buy it. Thank you so much. So excited, very sad that I couldn't buy it. This is another one that I have on hold from the library. Who knows when I'm going to get access to this one. But back to the actual book, the only thing that I really know about this one is the magical realism element in this romance is the music. Ashley Poston always does some kind of fantastical element in her romances, and I'm assuming it's probably music related. I've heard that somewhere. Actually, maybe I'm not the most reliable narrator for that, so take that with a grain of salt, but I'm really excited. Again, if you guys were here last month, you know that all of the physical TBR books that I brought out got chosen. Funny that this time, the main 2 that I really needed to get picked did not, but that's okay. I told you that I'm probably gonna read them anyway, and then I'll choose from this list. So first, out of the books that I actually do own, we have A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. Then for the rest of the books that I do not own, we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren, Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, and Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. What a lineup, guys. I don't know if I've had a list of books this exciting to me in honestly months. Like I don't even know why that is, but this, for the first time in a long time, feels like a TBR wheel that's full of all the books that I genuinely deep down really want to read. I have a habit of prioritizing other people's recommendations and not my own. So we're kind of getting to that point where I don't have a lot of other people's recommendations to get through, and I just get to read what I want to read, which I understand that I could always do that, but It's okay. I'm not perfect, guys. I think that's gonna be it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down below the tree emoji. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys are having a great day and a great reading month, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!